Well, with the dearth coming on, well, the dearth's been here for a while. We've had a little bit of rain this weekend, not a much. I'm gonna smoke these bees up. I've got an internal feeder made out of a bowl and some hardware cloth. I've got a refill, and I've got small mason jars in the other hives. So we're gonna fill them back up today. Hopefully without getting popped pretty good, which I probably will. The way my luck's been running today. So, if you see a lot of editing or cuts on this, that's what it's from. This is mid-August, so there's not going to be much in bloom this time of year. Not in South Georgia anyway. We're just going to pop this inner cover off. I really don't worry about leaving this hive open a long time because it's so strong, but I think Monday I'm going to have to break it down, and I've got some frames that I put in here that had starter strips on it. Foundation, wax foundation starter strips. And I pulled a couple the other day and the wax is completely gone off the strips or the frames. So I have got to put in some right seal. And I'm going to show you what I'm using for a feeder. It's about just a milk jug with some rocks and some wire in it. No need going out and buying some high-dollar feeders. This right here will work fine. In winter time, I can fill it up with sugar syrup or just plain sugar. Stick it in there. I got this from I think it's Southern Exposure. And this is a little bit, it's not 2 to 1, it's about, I added it half and half, and then I throwed another probably liter of water in with it. Thin it up just a tad bit. And I don't see a frame that I had starter strip on. But anyway, I asked an old guy that's been keeping bees a lot longer than I have why my bees are still on the starter strips, wax starter strips I'm putting in them. And it made sense. He told me that they're probably tearing that wax down and using it in another part of the hive. So I'm going to go with that. This hive right here, I've seen no signs of wax moth in it this year. Very few hive beetles. Then we will move over to the next one, which is, let's get the one in the middle. We'll go that way. That way I can spin you around. Right there. All right, this is just a real quick feeding system that I've got. It's mason jars inside. So if you're a first-year beekeeper and you don't have a lot of material or a lot of feeders, don't worry about it. You can improvise. I have. This is my first year keeping on my own. My family has always had bees in some form or fashion. I've got to do something with that top. I built this top real quick, and it's just a piece of plywood, ripped some 1-bys, made my frame. Works good. I just haven't had a chance to get the flashing put over it. I used a sign, and it gets water inside, moisture builds up, and I've got to get that fixed before winter time. I'm afraid it'll drop the temperature in my hive a little bit if it freezes. Alright, just quickly. This is a pretty good looking little hive. See if I can get you a picture of it real quick while I got them open. And I'll put you back in the cradle. This is a split that I done earlier this year. They're building up pretty good. The problem was, after I done my split, a couple of friends come down there and helped me. Barnyard Bees, Dave and Jimmy from Barnyard Bees. But the dearth was fixing to come on. And then the drought hit. So I have been having to feed for quite a bit. One thing I want to tell y'all, when y'all start feeding with these mason jars, they sell some lid grips at Walmart, the dollar store, other places like that. Get you a pair. From experience, I've had to beat these lids plumb off these. But if you've got one handy, and I didn't bring mine because the other day I just loosened them up. But if you get in here and you've got your hive open and you can't get the lid off, you've got to go get something to remove it, and your hive's open unless you just throw the inner cover back on and do that. Now everybody tells you not to dump sugar water out around the hive. So what I do is I just do it inside the hive on top of the frames like that, and that bottle's filled in this hive. That'll do this hive for 2 days. And I like opening up this, just the top. It doesn't disturb them that much. And go on. That'll do it for about 2.5, 3 days right there. That part will. And I can move on to the next hive. And I think the reason I've only got the small jars in this is because that's the only hive bodies that I had. Just the medium size that I built out some plywood. So I had to use what jar would fit in there real good. And with this one, I've got a stick. So I stick her on the top right here when I smoke them, because that's a real tight lid, and I squish quite a bit of bees, and it gets the stinging started. Let's just say that. And it's going to be the same procedure. I've just got a mason jar feeder in there. It only takes about 10 minutes to do all my hives feeding wise, and then I got an open feeder that I made out of I went Trex Supply. They're $7 counting taxes. I got some chicken waters, 1 gallon. I got them sitting over there in the field. I put some gravels in the trays, and I'll show you the difference. I don't see any hive beetles on this one at all. Good, 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 good. I did find a wax moth in one the other day. So look at that. That's the difference between the hives. This has got more bees in it, so it's sending more out to gather resources. These guys aren't building up on their top super, so I'm gonna wind up taking it off. I just left it on there for a while in case it picked up. So they don't need to be refilled. I squished one with my top inner cover. Flip him on in there. Flip him on in there. There you go. All right, that's 2 hives fed for check for feed. So hope you like the video. Hit like, subscribe, share. Simple thing to do. with your old mason jars. You can use mayonnaise jars, just real small holes in it. Oh, let's just run over and check that feeder out real quick that I've got. So forget the hit, like, subscribe section of it. You can tell the garden is gone. We're going to be bush hogging that this weekend. Now the reason I got the 1 gallon ones is because I bought 3 of them. I've only got one set out. As you can tell, I got it on a bucket. And I simply fill it up with gravel. And then throw the sugar water in the top. But what I'm fixing to do probably this weekend is I've got one I'm going to experiment with. I'm going to drill a hole in the top and get a freeze plug from an engine at AutoZone for a couple bucks. That way I can tighten it up to the diameter of the hole. Then I can simply pull that out, stick my 2-liter Coke bottle or whatever I've got in there. That's what I'll mix it up in, because this is 1 gallon. And simply pour it in, put the freeze plug back in it, and leave it alone. Because right now that's what this bucket right here is for, is a rock catcher. I just dump the tray into the bucket, and then when I'm done, I shake them back out. But that's a $7 feeder, taxes and all. And during the winter time, you can actually take these and fill them up and put them in a deep brood chamber box on top of the frames and leave the gravel in there and just let them have at it. Okay, so that's just some of the cheap ways to get bees fed. Milk jugs, rocks, and a couple of pieces of screen in it, some mason jars. I don't like doing the external. I've got a couple hives of birds got the external entrance feeders on it. I don't really care for them, but you know, I didn't have the boxes and that's what I had. And the chicken water, Tractor Supply's got them $6 something plus tax. It's a little bit over $7. You can't go wrong with them. Try it, you'll like it. I also do the bucket open feeding too, but you know, a lot of bees get drowned in that. So that's just for excess. If I've got some left over, I'll drop it down in there. And I usually keep a lot of water in this thing. Let's just see what we got in the bottom here. I hear some buzzing. A lot of ants. So I'd rather do the chicken thing. But anyhow, that's Running Reb. Hope you enjoyed. Hit like, share. This time I am gone because, as any beekeeper can tell you, I've got work to do. So y'all have a great, blessed coming up weekend. Enjoy it. And again, hit like or leave a comment. I don't care if it's about what's left of a garden or beekeeping. If I don't know the answer, I got plenty of friends around here that do. So just leave it and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.